Hi guys, welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please, if you are new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. We do everything City, past and present here on these little vlogs, so I do try and inform and entertain, and there's some links on screen as well for Facebook and Twitter where I do post loads of city stuff. So if you follow a friend me on there, I do check every few days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you do get a chance, please have a check out my film and TV channel as well, which I try and inform and entertain on there, and all the latest films and TV drama here in the UK and from around the world. So if you can check that out, that will be fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoy today's feature. Right, our first preview of the 21-22 season. Welcome. Hope you enjoy this little preview of the Community Shield. Yeah, it's all right, glorified friendly, but yeah, I think Pep will be trying to win it. I think Brendan Rodgers will be trying to win this for Leicester, won't they? So let's have a quick look at what's going to happen on the pitch. Let's see how Leicester have been doing in pre-season. And we're going to talk today, of course, about the Community Shield on the 7th of August 2021 at Wembley. So if you're going down there and you do happen to see me, come and say hello if you're down there. Yeah, so we're going to have a look at this as we defend, of course, this season our Premier League title. It's not always the Premier League winners who win this Community Shield, of course. FA Cup winners have a good record. Of course, today we'll be having a look at Leicester, their hopes and dreams for this season after a couple of, well, not disappointing. How can you say disappointing when you got a trophy in the cabinet? I mean, last season it was tremendous getting the FA Cup, but and it was again like the season before. They were so close to top four, but we'll have a talk about that anyway. And I'm going to do a little prediction of a Leicester starting 11 and a City starting 11. That'll be fun. If we get half the Leicester ones right, I'll be quite happy with that. So plus little bits and pieces we're going through. Yeah, it kicks off at 5:15 p.m. It's on ITV, isn't it? So you can watch it for now. So as long as it's not on City Plus and we missed the last 5 minutes, we're all right, aren't we? So obviously it's on the 7th of August on ITV3. Please check your territories if you're outside of the UK. I think you can go on the City website. Depending on what country you are, it'll give you the details as to how you may be able to watch it. And of course, City Plus subscription also entitles you to watch a full match replay. So depending how it goes, whether we watch it back or whether we can be bothered, from midnight. So obviously from midnight Saturday night, you can watch the whole thing again. You can glory in it. I wonder how many hits they get. How many people watch it? I'm not too sure. Pep's press conference, as I'm recording this, it's tomorrow, but it's on Friday the 6th of August, approximately 1:30 p.m. So if you want to tune in for that, if you're watching this before then, if you're watching this after that, you've missed it. Tough, no chance. Who's in charge? There we go. Referee Paul Turn is in charge of this one. His assistants are Ian Hewson and Neil Davis, and the VAR, the wonderful VAR. Oh, what's it got to be like this year? I have no idea. Darren England's on VAR with the fourth official, Mr. Peter Bonks. Obviously, we like to say Mr. Peter Bonks, very posh. We don't say Banks, we say Bonks, Peter Bonks. He's the fourth official. I have no idea who the assistant VAR is. It's probably not important, is it, these days? Yeah, of course, our only other previous matchup at Wembley against Leicester City came in that memorable 1-0 FA Cup win. The programme's back in 1969, of course, and please check out my little History Boys feature. It has a little background to that and some of my own personal memories, etc. So I'll seek that out if you can. And of course, the odds to the match, to win the match, etc. Please check out my little odds special as well. So obviously that may be out as you're watching this, or it may be due out. Just keep your eye out for that if you want to have a bit of fun. Look at, you want to have just up the ante a little bit. I don't condone gambling anyway, but if you want to have a little flutter and have a play with me on different things, tune into that and see what sort of little beauties have come up, or what little value bets have come up to, just to make your watching of the Community Shield a little bit more interesting, perhaps, because it's not the most tense game, is it? Let's be honest about it. Leicester, right, here we go. How are Leicester doing? Well, yeah, they kick off the Premier League campaign, of course, at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So that'll be an interesting game, wasn't it? With obviously Wolves with the new manager. Yeah, as I said before, fifth had to be disappointing last season, but yeah, okay. If I was a Leicester fan, I would have been delighted, of course, winning the FA Cup. That's absolutely fantastic. But you could see that Leicester really wanted to get that fourth spot, certainly after the season before where they shot themselves in the foot, and they did again, didn't they, this season? I mean, if you sort of finished with about 10 games left, you would have put, well, I wouldn't have put money on Leicester. I wasn't sure at the time, but they looked as though they could get that fourth spot. But again, they let it slip, didn't they? Trouble is, this season, are the 4 teams better than Leicester in the league this season? I think they probably are. I would certainly say City are better than Leicester. I would certainly say United are better than Leicester. And certainly I think we'll see a resurgent Liverpool this season. Of course, you know, unless Chelsea start to fade a little bit, I can see them being above Leicester as well. So despite a really good squad, and we'll talk about that in a moment as well, there's nothing to suggest that this season's going to be that much different for Leicester, to be honest with you. And it's hard to know what they do, because obviously, as I said, they do have a good squad of players, some good young players. They brought a couple of good players in. We'll talk about that now, but it is hard to see them getting into that top 4 spot, breaking into it. Unless, as I say, unless Chelsea do sort of fade and you know, Liverpool don't produce what we think they will produce this season, which I think will. I mean, they were good enough to finish top 4 last season, weren't they? So there's absolutely no reason this season, with players coming back and new signings, that they won't get top 4. Yeah, Leicester has signed striker Patson Daka from RB Salzburg. He's doing very well, apparently. He's quite liked by the Leicester fans. They got midfielder Boubakary Soumera from Lille. Again, he's proving popular with the fans. I've been on a couple of sites having a listen to what they're thinking. And of course, yeah, another one, the three excellent acquisitions here. They've got Ryan Bertrand on a free transfer following his departure from Southampton, and they're quite impressed with him as well. So there's 3 cracking players that certainly City might be a little bit worried about. Wes Morgan, Christian Fuchs and Matty James have all left Leicester at the end of their contract, so they've gone. They certainly have I think they do have a little bit of advantage over us. They've got more senior players back that are used to playing together, and obviously they've got a couple of new talents in there, as well as another young lad we'll mention in a bit. And obviously they've had all the full squad back to training a lot early, although the early pre-season games didn't go very well. They did okay last night as I'm recording this, but yeah, they've been showing all right. They've been doing okay. I'm a little bit worried. Certainly a bit more worried about them than I was about the Championship teams we've just played. Harvey Barnes is back. That's nice. He's been out since February, of course, and he's scoring as well, which is even better. So that's great for Leicester. So he's back. There's been some chatter about their players. Leicester City star Wesley Fofana. Well, let's talk about him first of all. I was writing a couple of days ago about him being linked with Real Madrid, but as we know, in the game against Real last night on Wednesday night, he was stretched off, quite a cynical foul, I believe, by the Villarreal player, unnecessary sort of foul. So obviously, I think it's something to do with his fibula, so he will be out for a while. But obviously, that puts any thoughts of him going to Real Madrid certainly been knocked on the head, that's for sure. And of course, he joined Leicester from Saint-Etienne at the start of last season. As I say, he has been sort of getting noticed by some big European clubs. So it does look bad. But anyway, it's certainly either way, he was a Leicester player, and it's going to be a big loss for Leicester now going forward with his injury. Arsenal have been sniffing around. Yeah, they're trying to strengthen. They've been sniffing around James Maddison, and they've sort of been lining up players to offer a player cash deal for him. So that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. It's still very looking at the Leicestershire site this morning, the Leicester News, if you like. There's still happening, there's still potential for that to happen before the season starts. And Leicester themselves had an eye on someone called Pereira, who looks set to leave West Bromwich, but that was a couple of days ago. He might have left and joined them now, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so they are looking for other things, but they've got a pretty decent squad. So yeah, the lineup, I mean, I was looking at the Villarreal lineup that Leicester had last night and just deciding whether he'd probably stick with these guys for the City Charity Shield game, Community Shield, my apologies. And we didn't expect Schmeichel to come back and play so soon, but he started obviously against Villarreal, didn't have much to do. He had quite an easy game. So I don't see any reason why Schmeichel won't start this game against City, to be honest with you. Ricardo, I think he's probably a shoe-in as well. And for Fofana, Fofana, that's the problem. They might have a little bit of trouble at the back, but they've got a Benkovic and a Marty who didn't sort of look great when they came on against Villarreal. But I'm going to plump for a Marty in there. It'll start a Marty. Then you got, of course, Soyuncu. I think he's well, I'm not going to say definite. I have no idea what Brendan Rodgers is thinking. I have enough trouble with Pep trying to think out what Pep's doing, and I know our player's a little bit better than Leicester, but I say Soyuncu's going to play. Bertrand, I think he's going to play based on what we've seen and what the fans are saying. Indeed, he's going to play. Tillemans, Perez, Maddison, Barnes, these all start against Villarreal, and I see no significance why they shouldn't start against City. The main thing, obviously, is up front. Obviously, they had Vardy, and obviously either Vardy or Iheanacho. Obviously, both got minutes against Villarreal, but I think either of those would love to play City. I think Iheanacho, obviously, for obvious reasons, and Vardy always seems to do okay against us, doesn't he? So it'll be interesting. I'll put Iheanacho in on my 11 anyway, as starting the game with perhaps Vardy to come off the bench. But as I said, we talk about the bench. You've got people like Albright and Ryan Bennett, Luke Thomas, Tamara, how you pronounce that? Daka, yeah, look at sharp, very sharp player. Dewsbury Hall's been impressing the Leicester fans, a young lad, Dewsbury Hall. And you got Samara as well. So yeah, they've got an interesting bench as well. That's the thing. So I mean, on the pitch, the pre-season friendlies before the Villarreal game that they won on Wednesday night, 3-2. On the 24th of July, they drew 0-0 with Burton and lost 3-1 on penalties. Must be some sort of Leicestershire Cup, that, mustn't it? 28th of July, they'd lost to Wickham away 1-0. Yeah, so they weren't doing that well before the Villarreal game. 31st of July, they drew 3-3 with Queen's Park Rangers. But even last night, they were against Villarreal. They were 3-0 up. But obviously, this injury to Fofana sort of affects them a little bit. They swapped the goalkeeper. Schmeichel went off. And they did concede 2 late goals. They were actually 3-0 up and quite comfortable for most of that game, but they did sort of let in 2 goals within the last 15 minutes. But as I say, I think the Fofana injury sort of affected that game a little bit. And the dangerous on set pieces, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of love out there for Mr. Bertrand's set pieces. I mean, they've not been too bad in the past, have they, at set pieces? But now they've got the addition of Mr. Bertrand swinging the ball in as well. So most Leicester fans are looking forward to that, you know, that contribution from that gentleman. Seems to be a little bit of a bargain for Leicester. I think they're quite happy with that. Overall, as I said, they've got a good squad. They've players who are also on the bench that can harm City coming on in this game. And I'm not too particularly sure City will have players on the bench that will particularly look like harming Leicester City, unfortunately. As I say, in particular on the bench, I do expect Daka. I mean, Daka might play and Dewsbury Hall might play. I mean, as I say, there's a lot of love out there for both of those. But if they're on the bench, I expect to see them, and they can be very, very dangerous. So, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm quite impressed with Leicester. But we always talk these teams up. We did it last year, and obviously we are good enough. But this isn't a full squad. This isn't a full strength City, is it, we're talking about? So let's have a look at City. Let's have a look at, are we ready? I put down here. Well, of course, it was 3 good run-outs against the Championship opposition. And on the face of it, up to last night's game, it was a little bit of a better vibe for City. But we're possibly, I mean, we were playing, all right, QPR, we're playing, obviously that was a Championship contender for Leicester, but they struggled a little bit with Burton and, was it Wickham, did I say they played as well earlier before? Is it Wickham? Yeah, Wickham. So, yeah, I mean, but obviously Villarreal are no mugs, are they? Let's be honest about it. I'm not too sure how strong their team was. But up to last night, I thought there was a bit of a better vibe about City. But looking back through what the Leicester fans have been saying in the Leicester newspapers, there's quite a positive vibe there. But there's no doubt that I think Rodgers will use this as a guide as to how Leicester will shape up this season. Say he's got a couple of good young lads there, and I think, as I say, he's going to struggle, but he needs to. I think he'll go for it in this one. I think he'll, like us, I think we'll start with our strongest team. Whether it's as good as it could be is obviously limited by who's not come back into training yet. But of course, Pep did claim he would field the under-23s. I don't think so. I don't think he'll field the under-23s to start the game. I think he'll go with something like the Blackpool game, to be honest with you. I don't think there'll be much difference to that starting 11. Obviously, we struggle a little bit up front with no target, man, have we? I don't know what's happened to Delap. You might know what happened to Delap. I'm trying to find out what's happened to Delap, but obviously there's rumours about him going on loan, etc. But, I'd love to see him starting if he's fit. As I say, there may be something. I've not seen the press conference. I don't know what the problem is with Delap, but I think Pep will go with that sort of more or less a Blackpool team and then start to make changes if need be on 60 minutes. But as I said, what we've got to come off the bench, I don't think compares very favourably with what Leicester have got to come off the bench. So that is a little bit of a worry. And Pep, he sees the Community Shield as a trophy, doesn't he? So I'm sure he will go for it. But I don't think he'll go daft if we lose this one. There's far too many first team players still not available or up to speed at the moment. So I don't think he'll panic. It'd be nice to win it, of course it is. But there you go. Obviously, I think it'll be a tough game for City. My starting 11. Now, let me know what you think of this. What you would go with. As I said, it's basically the Blackpool one with one or two changes. Stefan, Cancelo, Diaz, Aki, Mendy, Ferner, Gundo, Palmer, Mahrez, Edozie, and I've put McAtee in there, but it's there's options up for options with that last player. But I think those first 9 or 10 players are, I think, pretty much shooing. I can't see any reason why Pep would keep them all on the bench and play the under-23s and then bring those guys on later. It's a week till we kick off. It's only 8 days till we kick off after this, so we do need to get these potential first team players. And let's face it, most of those will be playing against Spurs because we still won't have certain players back. I mean, I do expect KDB on the bench. Torres is back in training. He's not gonna. Don't think he's gonna feature as such. But that's my 11 anyway. As I say, it's not the it's okay. It can do a job against a Championship team, but we're not playing a Championship team tomorrow. But please let me know your thoughts. As I said, will this be good enough? I'm not sure. I do. You can probably tell from what I'm saying that I do sort of favour Leicester slightly. I hate to say it, of course I do. I'm a City fan, and I hate, but it's a head and heart thing, isn't it? Obviously, I don't want to go all the way down there, and obviously, even a Community Shield, it's a bit depressing to come home afterwards all the way back up north. But you got people like Iheanacho or Vardy. It doesn't matter which one he puts on. I'd rather Iheanacho be on because I think he's less likely. He has his moments, doesn't he? But he's still a bit inconsistent, so that's fair enough. But I think most pundits think Leicester will dominate and dictate this game tomorrow. And I think they could possibly be right. I think we may give up possession tomorrow. I'm not too sure. And obviously they've got lots of little pace all over the pitch as well with some of the younger lads and some of the guys they've bought, etc. So, as I said, my heart says 2-1 to City, but I'm more or less thinking in my head it could be 2-1, but it could be 2-1 for Leicester. I honestly think we may struggle. If we'd had 2 or 3, 4 more of our main guys back, I'd be happier. But as I say, I don't think we've got much to change the game. It was struggling, to be honest with you. So I think just on the basis of what I've seen and actually the reports I've seen on the Leicester last couple of games, I think Leicester might have too much for us. But hey, there you go. I'll go for 2-1 for City with this thing, and obviously perhaps with this thing up here, I'll go for 2-1 for Leicester. But let me know what you think anyway. I mean, obviously, we've got to be obviously when I do my odds program, I'll be confident. I'm not going to go out for a Leicester win. No, we don't have that. We like to have a bit of fun. But there you go. Let me know what you think. Right, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, the We're Not Really Here show that we usually give a plug for is now gone, hasn't it? The boring buggers are just calling it the Match Day Live show now. It's not very exciting, is it? So if you're into that, if you were into the We're Not Really Here show that has now done a run and turned and morphed into the Match Day Live, they've got all the big guns out tomorrow. You got Dick Off with Natalie Pike is at Wembley to drink in the atmosphere. Okay, you've got Dun and Goter with Kel Spellman back in the studio, back in the CFA, back at base for that one. And of course, it starts 1 hour ahead of the kick-off at Wembley. You see a bit at half time and then following the final whistle as well. So if you're not getting down to Wembley and you want to have a little bit of a pre-match thing, tune in for that if you enjoy that. And of course, please tune in back on Sunday when I obviously not sure what time I'll get back, but about Sunday lunchtime, hopefully I'll be able to get out a full match report feature on this and my little views and perhaps little comments on the trip down to Wembley, etc. And of course, with our player ratings and the Manchester Evening News player ratings to look back at on the Community Shield. And please don't forget to check out my vlogs, including a pass vlog, a city pass vlog entitled 3007. There you go. I won't give too much away. You have a think about that. 3007, a very significant number at Main Road. But yeah, have a look at that if you get a chance. And of course, have a look at my History Boys feature, City versus Leicester in 1969. And of course, check out that little odds show if you're into that sort of thing. As I say, that's why I've kept it separate. You know, if people aren't bothered with it, you know, don't watch it. But it's just a little 15 minute odd show on some of the value around with the bets around this Community Shield match. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know any comments, any of your thoughts. Anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to do the rest of the day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or you come and say hello at Wembley if you see me, please do. Just come and shake me hand. We can shake hands now, can't we? I only ever ask one thing of you guys, don't I? Please, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.